So my my Instagram handle and also my TikTok and also this current YouTube channel it all says Dr. Uchi the Swole OT. What's the inspiration behind that? So first things first, my name is Dr. Uchendu Iwanyawu. I got my doctorate in occupational therapy. I also have a CSOT from the ISOT. I'm going to go through all these credentials as this video progresses, so no worries. Yes, so I got my doctorate in occupational therapy about 2-3 years ago now. I've been a practicing OT, registered occupational therapist for about two years now. I was formerly a certified occupational therapy assistant for about 3 years. Then I went to grad school to get my doctorate in occupational therapy, so about 3 years of that, and also the 2 years on top of that. So I've been in the OT world, or the OT field, for about, since 2016. So, and it's 2025 now, so about 9 years now. Yeah, so I've been an OT or OT practitioner or OT student for a long time. Like I said, I got my doctorate from school here in the Pacific Northwest. And so I'm registered. That's the OTRL. That's what that is. I'm registered as a licensed occupational therapist in the state of Washington. I also got my CSOT. That is a certified sexuality occupational therapy practitioner certification. I got it from the ISOT. This is the Institute for Sex and Occupational Therapy. Check them out on Instagram. They also have a website as well. I think you can just Google search ISOT and you'll find them. Institute for Sex and Occupational Therapy. Dr. Catherine Ellis is the founder of that institute. Wonderful OT, and the stuff they're doing over there, the stuff that she's doing over there is absolutely innovative in so many ways. What else? So going off of that, did you know that there's about 130,000 occupational therapists in the United States right now? Keep in mind that the U.S. workforce is 170 million. It's not a lot of us. It is a very small amount of people compared to the actual workforce. So I like to call it our current patient population. It's probably about, 330 million. There's U.S. citizens, so probably like 170 million of like actual people in desperate need of some sort of occupational therapy services out there. And there's only 130,000 of us. So there's not a lot of us. Now, out of the 130,000, 80% of those are women, and like 20% or less than 20% are men. So that's already a huge deficit right there. And then on top of that, I think it's like approximately 5% are black. I think 6% are Asian. Another 70% are white. I think another 6% are 2 or more races. Or is it 6% is Hispanic? I don't know the exact numbers, but you could Google it. You can find it yourself. I could run through them in another video, but it's easy to find the demographics of OT. It's painting a really grim picture as to the lack of diversity and the lack of inclusion in this profession, which is also being really detrimental because as occupational therapists, one of our biggest things is client-centeredness. It's about trying to tailor our rehabilitative medicine towards what that patient needs. And what if that patient doesn't look like us, doesn't have our same lived experience? How are we going to figure that out? There are some things that, culturally speaking, are acceptable in different cultures that are not acceptable in others. And the idea that we are not as diverse is a huge issue. I understand that DEI is under attack right now, and everyone rolls their eyes at DEI initiatives and all that. But it is important to keep in mind that diversity does make a profession more. It does make a profession better, and unfortunately, in order to have diversity in a profession that centers around client-centeredness, which is diversity and inclusion, by the way, it's just another way of saying that. Yeah, we need to be diverse. We need to be very inclusive, very equitable. So 20% of men are in occupational therapy and 5% are black. So what's 20% of 5% of 130,000? It was less than 1%. Less than 1% of occupational therapists are black men. So, which is why it's really, really important I put my face out there, because there's not a lot of us. We're rare amongst rare. So how many of those are black men with doctorate degrees in occupational therapy? And then also on top of that, how many of them are black men with doctorate degrees in occupational therapy and also have a CSOT, a Certified Sexuality Occupational Therapy Practitioner certification? Like I said, I might be the one. So it paints a really, really real picture about, like, holy shit, this is huge, you know? And so I want to make sure to put that, this out there so that people know, like, that occupational therapy, one, is in need of some diversity, and two, it will make our profession better, and three, we do exist. The diversity in occupational therapy does exist. And I hope this helps you inform you of that.